Good morning. Welcome to MightyOxTrading. Thursday morning. Inflation report comes out in about an hour. Should be interesting. Hope everyone had a good evening. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. It's a tired morning for me. Trying to wake up. So, we're looking at the NASDAQ right now, as a matter of fact. Sent us a short signal, curl back up. Looks like it wants to curl back down. If we get back below that spot right there where it came down, it sent us that signal at 15.015. We'll look for an entry short. There we go. It's at that same area right now. Let's see if it can get through there. ES sending us a short signal as well. We're going to take the short right there. Well, wait, we're going to wait. Chart is ready. Alert there, get my way. Let's see why that gold alert's firing. Gold's been coming down. We'll go through the overnight here in a minute. As soon as we see what NQ wants to do here. We're taking the short there. We're in with 3 micros on NASDAQ. We're going to set our stop. Let's see here. You see the high here hit 27. So that's where we're going to set our stop there. Actually, we're not even going to go that high. Put it here, about 23. It's about a 9-point stop. Comes all the way back up to there. Then we were probably wrong. Right. It's kind of hemming around here, so we'll see what happens. ATR line, to send an opposite signal, is actually sitting, let's see, where's it sitting? About 22. So that's where we'll move our stop now as well. It's only about an 8-point stop. We're going to move our profit target to 15 points. I had it set for 30. It'll be right there, basically at the 200 period EMA. Or just about. Actually, a little under. We'll watch it. We'll set it at the EMA. Do you see it reversing there now? Let's see if it bounces off the SMA, hopefully. There's a nice red move down. Put us back in the profit. We're starting the morning off down, I believe it was $63 from last night. Yeah, $63.50. I was going to get that back and move into the green. Welcome everyone this morning. Feel free to say hello in the chat, ask questions, make comments, banter, talk amongst yourselves, whatever you want to do. Getting some momentum here. Good morning, Vincent. How you doing? Been a while. Just worried about you. Up, back to green. We're back. Green candle up there. While this trade slowly plays out, we'll keep an eye on it, but let's go through our review of the overnight. The indices really don't have much of a range compared to normal. Nasdaq is right about at mid-range, and it's only about 100-point range. Its top candle was the very first candle of the session. It's double bottomed here at its lows here at 4 a.m. and then earlier at 10 p.m. So that's an area to watch. Excellent. I was worried. I know you said you had it and then it kind of disappeared. I'm glad you're back. ES has about a 21-point range. You can see it also double bottomed there. Looks like we're going to get stopped out on this NQ trade. Real quick. There's the chart on that. It's heading up toward our stop. Let's see if it bounces off that SMA. Yep, doesn't look like it's going to give us that bounce. Maybe it will. Anyway, copper. Overnight came down, but now it's back. It's hit as high as 470. Now, about top part of the mid-range. It's had another 12 times 20, 240 ticks range. You can see he had a big day the last couple of days heading upwards. Try to check, see how well it's getting close to those Bollinger Bands. Actually, I might have hit it. We'll have to check that later. Remind me. Gold. About only a 6-point range on gold. They're kind of tight. The indices in gold are probably waiting to see what is going to happen with the inflation report in about 50 minutes. We just got stopped out on our NQ trade, so that was a bummer. You can see the stop out there. So we were down 63.50. Now we're down 102. So it wasn't that big of a loss. Only about $39. Kept this tight stop. UltraBond. Just about a point in range, a little extra. Also kind of tight overnight. Actually, might not even be that much. No, I missed the yellow line was definitely off there. Oh no, it wasn't. There's that wick down. So yeah, a little more than a point in range. Not doing much either. Also waiting for inflation. Crude About a 1.5 in range, just toward the top. Oh, and natural gas has been kind of choppy. And it's back down below 4. Natural gas has had a ride here if we look at it real quick over the last few days. Made this big move up. And I really wish I had told myself right here when this made this big move up, I should play the reversal the next day. Because it tumbled down $6,000 a contract. But I didn't. But it's been tumbling down ever since it broke the band here, touched the band here. It's come back down. And of course, the Dow. I'm sorry, not Dow, Russell. About 11 points in range, I think. Symbols in my way there. And the Dow, about 140. So that's where we stand now. And we'll look for our next trade. Looks like now maybe I might stop a little too tight because we see this try to curl back down now. Stop this out, coming back. Sounds good. Yeah, looks like we're overall, if we look at the last, we had the big move down, but now trending back up. It's almost regained that move. And we do have that double bottom support. Where did I say that support was at? Right here. 68, 66. So right around that area we have support. We're double bottomed. $47 is the next area below that. Of course, the inflation report can throw everything into turmoil. So yep. So I got in on that MNQ trade at 15.014. It's back down below my entry point. So sometimes tightening your stop can bite you in the butt. I will be back up now a couple points. See if this ends up going the 15 points that I look for. Starting to think I just need to not move my stops, not do anything, just go in with what I'm thinking and stick with it. Although, I mean, did go up to, no, it only went up to 20, so my stop, it would not have hit my normal stop. Ben, good morning, Ben. Thanks for joining me. I'm thinking about it. I want to see what the price action is doing going into it. Right now the price action is very muted. It's slow. So I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. I may try and do that move I did on the FMOC with the entering the entering an order above and below the price action and seeing if I can catch the initial pop up or down. Copper sent us a long signal here after a big downtrend. It was over a 500-point move down. Expected to bounce back down here. Yes, it is. Then also I gotta decide if I want to try it with a bunch of micros or if I want to go for a full NQ contract. If I go for a full NQ contract and it doesn't work out, I'm looking at a $400 loss, probably a bit more with yeah, with slippage. So we shall see ya. Russell's popping back up. Huh? The indices are trying to pop back up. They're really kind of sideways. I mean, a lot of slow action here. These are small candles. Slow grind down here. Nasdaq is just slightly downtrending. Yes, it's slightly downtrending. The Russell actually looks like it's leveling out. So, natural gas moving down, crude moving down. And copper looks like it not going to pull back. I should have taken that. Oh, we have nothing going on. I want to check on something I've been watching the last few days to see if it's maybe worth an overnight trade. That's heating oil. Wait, hold on. Crude's giving us a signal. What's crude telling us? Crude's trying to come up back through its SMA line. But we got a downtrending SMA line that UltraBond doesn't have a lot of volume yet. Short signal there. After a decent uptrend. Expected to pull back a little bit, and if we'll watch to see if it continues down. So heating oil, not quite the trend I was looking for though. Boom, boom, boom. Interesting. This would have been the signal to take. Seems like every night this trends after the European Open. Now it was a little choppy here. If we would have waited for the break of that SMA, this usually goes like at least 100 ticks, and that's $4.20 a tick. So that's a nice $500 move there, and then it rebounded. So it's definitely an asset I've been watching. It's not thickly traded, so you got to watch the spreads on it. So still sideways. There's the bounce on crude. I thought it was going to come back down. Copper is continuing to kind of meander upwards there. UltraBond, that short signal didn't stick. Yes, I think you're trying to send a long signal here now. Let's look at that. So it came up, pulled back. This could business, a pullback of a bigger move up. It's a big, thick candle there, long candle compared to the recent price action. Biggest candle we've seen if it holds in the last hour, at least. It's already pulling back though. Vincent's in long. I'm thinking about it. I don't know where my chart is. I should really have that ready. There we go. Wait, there's the pullback. There's my MNQ chart. Waiting to see if it holds. I don't like that wick right now. We're filled. Again, not looking for 30 points. We have not seen that type of action. We'll look for 10. Tight stop. Put a stop below that big candle that just formed, that caused that signal to fire. We are seeing red. That's about a 7-point stop if it comes down to stop me out. That's candle did hit the Bollingers, so there was that pullback. Let's see if we can get momentum back up, or if it looks like it wants to come back against us. Yeah, my stop on NQ is sitting at 15, 16 and a half. What I'm hoping for is we see a couple, this stair step down here and then it pops back up. When something hits that third Bollinger Band, it's actually 2.75, but when something hits that band, it usually means you're going to see a pullback, but does not mean that it's going to be a reversal. You'll see could see a pullback for a candle or two, for a few, a point or two, and then starts going green. Right now we're back to our break-even point. There's a nice pop up. And the rejection again. Rejection at that same spot. Came up to 15.025 there. It's come up to 15.21. Oh, no, wait, 15.25 there. So that 15.25 and a quarter spot is where it's rejected twice. Let's see if it can break through this time. Trying to get ahead of steam. Still hasn't been able to do it. We do see that in the prior move, we hit a high of 27 earlier. It's trying to get through there now. It's back to that 25 level. And again, trying to reject off of it. There, it's pushed through up to 26. Still struggling in this area. If you can look, it's triple topped over just about the same area within a point Now it needs to break that. If it doesn't break that, if it rejects down again, we'll probably get out. So we're looking for a break of about 26.5 to 27. Nope, rejection down. We'll let it give it one more try. You could be using 1520 or 15020 as a support. Could stay in that between those two goalposts there, and maybe try and push back up. Yep, looking like it wants to come back down. My stop is just below the SMA line, so we can see if it'll bounce there. It's not a wide stop. It won't. It's gonna probably take another $40 loss if it stops me out. But we'll see if we get that bounce back up there. ES actually sending an opposite signal here. That's interesting. That was quick. Trying to figure out what that sound was I just heard in my headphones. Okay, stop this out. 0 for 2 this morning, but not for a big loss. Now sending a short signal. But we're going to hold off. Not going to take that short. We're going to let it see what it wants to do. Now let's get some direction on it. So far, these last two have failed. Now it's possible this is our ABCD pattern. I think that's the right term. I could be wrong. Where it's come up, down, tried to come back up, is now flushing down. But we'll want to see it get below that previous low here at about 1512 before we consider it. See, we also have a 200 period EMA here. Vincent, you're still in, I believe. It doesn't look like it's touched your stop. It looks like it might be bouncing back up for you. So we're watching it. We want to see it break. Technically, I really want to see it get up to 15030. If it pops back up there, it'll send us another long signal. Maybe we'll jump back in. The other thought on this is, getting in there at 22, it went up to 26. If I had used a regular NQ, I could have got, $80 off that trade. It's a thought when you're doing these short little moves that you might be able to get something quick off a regular NQ instead of using a micro. As right now, I'm doing a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Copper. Copper did come up here a little bit. 67.30 up to 68.25. So that would have been ended up being a good move. See, it's bounced off its SMA line. We are at the top of the hour here, 8 a.m. in the east. Up, we're popping back up on NQ. Big move up on gold there. You can see down the bottom left-hand corner. A big maybe was the wrong term, although it has now gone about a full point. NQ sending us the buy signal again. But it's not back above. We need to see it break that 27. Nope, big rejection again off that same level. Silver. giving us a signal here, but I'm not taking that. It's definitely indecisive right now. But staying about, I mean, NQ came down right below the SMA line, which is where it stopped me out and popped back up, popped down. Definitely indecisive, but for now, staying above that SMA. If I was a braver man, I would almost rest a buy order on the SMA to try and get just a couple points up. You see that big move up there on copper. Wow, that was a $375 1-minute candle. Gold rejected back down after its big move up. You know, this chart right now on the Nasdaq kind of looks like what it normally looks like on the open, just in a more smaller level. Hello, Walter. Trial account? I'm not. You mean the a mini gauntlet? If you mean the mini gauntlet, I got my credentials to start trading um, within minutes after making my payment. If you've made the payment and you haven't received your credentials within a few minutes, or if it's been a week, you should definitely contact support because something's not right. You're welcome. Please let me know if I can. Ooh, big move up here up on the Nasdaq. It did break that. Finally broke that level. We're gonna grab this. Okay, we're in. Normally I'll wait for the candle to close. Let's see if that bites my butt. We're gonna move our profit target to 15 points. Yep. So I got in at 15:30. That candle closed at 15:31, so I was actually at 1 point early. No problem. I'm always happy to answer his questions if I can. It's a nice strong move up. We are about 25 minutes away from the inflation report. One of the, I think an ex-Fed member or somebody I know, I saw a headline that said they thought inflation might be cooling off a bit. I don't think that's true. Yeah, very nice breakout. Biggest candle we've seen here in well over an hour or longer. Big move up here. Almost to my 10-point profit, no, 15-point profit target. We failed two of them are, we cashed out on two. We're trailing on one, moving our stop up to break even on the last one. Try and continue to get more out of this move. We did just hit the Bollinger Band and kind of pull back on that last burst. We'll see if that's the sign that we need to get out on this last one, or if it's just gonna kind of pull back a bit. Still moving up. Looking here, we're above all major resistance except for where we, a little bit of mess at the open. Yeah, yes you were, and honestly, again, I shouldn't have moved my stop. I should not have moved my stop up because I would have also stayed in that trade. Do you see a pullback here on this candle? We did get up into the close to the 80 line on the RSI. See, we'll evaluate staying in after the close of this candle. It's a nice wick on that candle. We'll see if we're going to consolidate here, if we're going to continue to head down. Gold, send us a short signal. $15,048 was the high of that burst up. We've pulled back about 6 points. Seems like we still got some buyers coming in here. You see, this red candle here, big wick, indicates buyers coming in when they tried to sell. Now we're back to green on this candle. About 5 seconds to go before the close. It's back up to that, just about where it topped a couple candles ago. Let's see if it can break through there. We'll move our stop up a couple of points. Just staying above that level. Eventually, the software will start moving to stop itself if it keeps heading upwards. It's up to 50-50 now. Or it touched it. Remember, halves and wholes can be, the market likes them, so they can be unseen support or resistance. We are seeing that the NQ is now kind of extended. It's touching the Bollinger Band on the 5-minute chart. This starting to look like a reversal play here. 5-minute candle's closing here right now. And there you see a red right away. Gonna try and give it a little bit of breathing room. Move our stop up a little bit more to that, below that, right at the edge of that wick. Yep, big move down there. I was thinking about playing that reversal. That would have been a great reversal play. It's come down 10 points. That would have been an excellent reversal play. Getting out on the long and going short. After seeing, this is actually my good setup. If you look here, for a reversal, above the 70 line, hit the Bollinger Band. So yeah, that would have been a good reversal play. Could have got 10 points off that reversal. Right now, we'll see what's close to stopping us out of our trailing. But we'll see. I mean, sometimes after the first, bit comes down, it'll go back up. So we'll see. At this point, letting it come down 3 more points or 2 more points and hitting my stop isn't going to affect my P&L that much. You can see this is what it looks like here on the 1 minute chart. Ah, man. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I didn't bring up my chart here. You never didn't see that trade. I apologize. I sometimes forget to hit that button. Anyway, you can see I entered on this candle here and hit our target here 2 candles later. Now we're pulling back. We'll see if we can stay in the trade. It continues to head up. I gotta remember to make sure I show my trades. Figures I was showing my losers earlier, but I forgot to change it and show my one that actually worked for me. We're also getting close to that inflation report. So Vincent, have you stayed in through this pullback or? Okay, stop this out. So that trade is done. We made about $33 back on that trade. Yeah, we made more than that. I forgot I took that second loss. I hate trying to figure out the profit of micros. 2 of them went for 15 points, so that's 30, 60. And then this one went for 8 points. That's 16. It's about $76 on that trade. So that's where we stand now. So now we will probably wait for any other trades. NQ is actually sending us a short signal here, but good chance it's going to bounce off that SNA. Probably wait for any other trades now until the setup on the inflation report. Not sure, looking at this chart, we'll see what it does in the next 10 minutes, see if I want to go for, try my move. Good job, Vincent. So kind of gold's coming down. Though been a good signal to take. Yeah. Kind of a weird looking chart though. You see this buy signal came here, came around, and then this big pop up here, now down. Would have jumped in there on that short. It's only it's come down about a point so far. Gold's very spotty today. It's not a lot of volume or big candles at all. Off that short signal, we would have gotten the 16 ticks. But yeah, that's an ugly looking chart overnight. I mean, it was a nice big move down there, but after that, the chart's ugly looking. So now we're waiting. I'm probably gonna go for. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for the move for the inflation, but except for that recent move there, we're back to very small candles. So I'm not sure if we're gonna see a huge breakout or on the inflation report, or if that the response there might be muted as well. Part of me is really thinking breakout because I think that's what everybody's waiting for. Look at the 5-minute. We do have some stretch bands here on the 5 minutes, so there's room to move. Although, I mean, you see, we've had a nice uptrend now for the last 3 hours on the 5-minute chart. But, it's interesting how only about 20 points between here and the top band. It looks like it's about 50 to the bottom. These are the times that try men's souls. So Nasdaq's continuing to pop down. Normally I'd say it's going to bounce off this bottom band, but like I said, I'm not going to take any trades now until that inflation report. I'm going to set up my chart in a few minutes to try and play play the inflation report. Came down, hit that band, small bounce there, comes back up. Right back into that range. It's out, gave back all the gains on that burst upwards. We're back in that area that stopped me out earlier a couple of times. Up, down once, up once. So it came right back into that range. So again, we'll look at the 5-minute chart. It's right at trying to bounce off an SMA on the 5-minute. Wait, was I looking at the wrong chart? No, I'm wrong. I'm not in that same range. Well, yeah, I'm in that same range, top of that range, right where I said it had to get through. So yeah. It is kind of bouncing there. But again, we're less than 5 minutes away. Grabbing the chart. We're going to do 5 micros on this. With no stop. Well, I mean, it's its own stop. I have my MNQ chart ready. UltraBond. Pull back to its SMA on the 5. Trying to bounce as well. The goal is to set these orders, I try to get with like about 10 points above, 10 points below. But sometimes things can start going really weird right before a report comes out, and movement can start quickly. And so the goal is not to get filled before the report pops. You see this move down here, I didn't take it because it happened before an uptrending SMA line, but taking this short signal, we would have gone 13 points so far. That would have been actually a good signal to take, but it goes against my plan. I guess I expected a bounce here. We got a little bounce, but looks like it wants to continue to head down. I think maybe the market's already anticipating a downward move on the, from the inflation report. Let's set our first order well above the current price to start things. We want to buy. We'll move it closer. Hello, Sam. I haven't. If you're asking for me, or what? I'm unsure about your question. Are you asking what profit target you need to hit, or what exactly are you asking? I'm confused. about 2 minutes away. I need to zoom out a little bit here. Forget how you zoom out. Crap. That's not it. Ah. That works. Okay, we're less than 1 minute away. I'm going to set my other order here. Oh, I haven't started TCP yet. I start the Trader Career Path on Monday night. Right now I'm still on my regular mini gauntlet account. We see this fluctuation majorly here. Got to make sure I don't accidentally get filled in this order up here. And we are 30 seconds away. Okay, I have both my orders set. I'm going to move them closer to the price action with about 10 seconds to go. There we go. Wow. Okay, so far it's not worked the way I wanted it to. Let's see. There we go. Taking our profit there. I should have kept it. Darn. Okay, but I got in, got out. Let's watch it, and then we'll look at the profit. I believe I got about $400 off that trade. We'll check it here in a minute. I saw it hesitating, and unfortunately, Ninja went off the chart here. So I closed it at 9:59. It's gone down another 40 points. So I did get out too early. But that said, it was an excellent trade. And it's one of the things, it's very hard to know when it's going to exhaust. You see, it was well below the Bollinger Bands, well below the 20 line, well below the band on the RSI. You see it bouncing here now. That was it. The whole candle ended up being 110 points. So that would have been all, if I had gone with a regular NQ contract, I might have actually gotten too much profit too quick for the consistency rule and on the trade. Okay, we're still coming down, but let's quickly look at our profit. By the way, this stuff can get you really excited, and actually, that really got me going. I'm really looks like about 40 points of profit is where I took it. So yeah, that actually moved down so fast that if I had used a regular NQ, by the time I jumped out, I would have been up $1,600, and I can only do like $1,250 for my consistency rule. So I should have stayed in on the micros, obviously, but you can see here we were down like $63. Now we're up $349 on the day. So that was an excellent trade. I wish I had recorded that. That was very similar to my FMLC trade. Sorry, I got a little excited there. So you see, it's still moving down hard. Thank you, Sam. Gold also made the same move. Everything, the inflation report must be ugly, guys. Gold dropped 5.5 points. UltraBond dropped a bunch. Everything's red. Did anything go up? Even crude dropped a little bit, and crude usually doesn't care. S&P coming down, natural gas didn't care. So let's go to Twitter and see if we can find the results of that report. U.S. inflation soared 7.5% over the past 12 months, the biggest spike since 1982. It was a higher number than expected. So yeah, you can probably expect the Fed on the next FOMC to raise interest rates by probably 0.5%. Market does not like that at all. And we're still going down. Wow. So, you know, if we look at this now, it's easier to actually look at a 5-minute chart. Wow, look at that 5-minute candle. Oh my God. So, there's going to be a time once I'm funded that I'll be brave enough to jump in with a regular NQ contract. And this is now going 200 points down. So that is a $4,000 5-minute candle on one contract. So now, okay, now you're probably going to see a bounce back up here because this really got extended below. You can see we're well into below the 20 line, well below the Bollinger Bands on both. You're probably going to, I should have played this as a reversal. See how much it reverses. Another thing I need to get better at is after a big trade, calming myself quickly so I can quickly get back in on something else. Kind of wish I had recorded that as well. I mean, I did technically record it. I could edit this, but I hate trying to edit. Well, we are still seeing red on the 5-minute. So now we're going to start looking for more setups, try and build on our profit for the day. We're up 340. Is that what I said it was? Gold. You can see that big candle there on 5-minute candle on gold. That said, I'm not seeing the bounce I'm expecting on these at all. Everything dropped. Be interested to see if this just continues a downward momentum all day now. So Vincent, I'm curious, does this now change your bias? UltraBond ended up going down 38 total ticks, well over $1,000 per contract. Still not, didn't really have, I mean, we were going to be green on that 5-minute candle, but really didn't see a bounce that I was expecting to see. So far, we could still get it. That could still slightly, slowly trend upwards. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Bitcoin, big drop too as well. $919 drop. Isn't wasn't Bitcoin hailed as an inflation hedge? It's just Bitcoin almost follows Nasdaq anymore. It's kind of sad. And my poor Shiba Inu also took a hit. 45.17. Oh, okay. That's still a long way to go, Vincent. Now we are seeing that bounce that I was expecting. Look here on the 1 minute chart. The bounce started here. Wow, that was a big bounce. So we finally see it's bounced back up by 30, 40, almost 40 points, 35 points. There we go. Early morning math. And yes, I know it's not really early morning anymore, but still. But yeah, bouncing back up. So now that would have hurt though if I had tried to play that bounce right at the open of that candle, because it went down another 30 points before it bounced. That's a fun day so far. So now the goal is to find some good trades and not give back that profit. You know, some people say when you hit a certain profit target for the day, you know, maybe you should quit. And I mean, in some cases that may be true, but I mean, it seems weird to think that, you know, just jump in the next day, like it's, you know, there's still not opportunities that day. I mean, yeah, if it's getting later in the morning or in the afternoon, yeah, maybe, but at this point, I want to continue the momentum. Kappa. What's Kappa saying? Copper's trying to come back up to the SMA line. Copper didn't have a huge reaction to. Oh, I guess it actually had a bigger reaction than I thought. Copper came down. Uh, yeah, copper came down 50 ticks. Actually 70, 80. Oh yeah, so copper had a bigger reaction than I thought. It's popping back up though. So you gotta remember when there's a huge move down. Euro also went down. All the currencies also went down. You could have went short on just about every asset and won. But when there's a huge move down like that, you're almost always going to get at least a bounce on the next candle. It might continue to go down, so you don't want to play too hard against the trend or against that bounce. Don't want to try and catch a falling knife, but you know, bounce a little bit, get in, get out. Oh, wow. Look at silver. Look at gold. What the heck? What just happened? So gold must have just realized that when inflation's up, it's considered positive for gold. At least that's what I've heard. That's an interesting. So it did send a buy signal there. I'm not sure I would have taken it, but I should have. I didn't see it, but pull back after the big 6 point candle up. Sorry, pulling back almost the whole length of that candle. So now that things are calmer and kind of shaking out, and we're waiting for a good signal. As Sam brought up earlier about Earn the Trade's newest product, Trader Career Path. I will be starting the trader career path on Monday night, and I will be taking trades from that account exclusively on stream. In other words, if I'm not live streaming, I will not be trading that account. Going to try and progress up, start at 25K level. It's the first account of any prop firm that I know of where you can, continue. You're not just set at what you start at. You start at 25K, move up to 50K, 100K, eventually 200K, and after 200K, you can potentially even get a customized offer from the prop firm. Yeah, my plan for the TCP at first will be just trading micros, MES and MNQ, just because the stop loss is only $550, so I don't want to do anything that's going to blow up the account real quick. And we're going to trade it slow and steady. No resets is the goal. I'd love for y'all to join me on this journey as I'm going to trade it each day. And if I'd love to see, y'all decide to take a career path with me, we can trade it together. Not that I'm going to be making call outs or anything, but we can bounce ideas off of each other. So start joining me Monday night as I start trading the trader career path. I will continue to be trading my gauntlet account as well. So I'll be doing both at once, but maybe with a little bit more emphasis on the career path. Only need to make $200 a day on it each day to hit the profit target for the first leg. Hello, Ken. Yeah, honestly, I'm still learning a lot about econ numbers and all that. So I mean, I just watched the reactions and so on. But so eventually, maybe if I might take I'm learning a bunch. I mean, honestly, a year ago, I didn't know what an FMOC was. I didn't really pay attention to what the Fed did, anything like that. I mean, I understood basic economy, but you told my younger self that I'll be caring about inflation reports, I'd probably smack myself. My younger self. Now I get excited about inflation reports. What has my life become? Oh. Yeah, anyway, if anyone wants to join me in starting a trader career path, links down in the video description. Oops, what happened, Ken? Things that have the market's taking a breath after that, huge move. You see, we're just kind of sideways. I mean, pull back, now trending back downwards a bit on everything. So it's definitely taking a breath. We do see a short signal there on the UltraBond, which is interesting. But we're nearing, the bands are tightening, so I'm not sure about it. Crude oil, what's crude doing on the 5? Ooh, there's, so crude was just a bit late. There's its downward momentum. Still above 90 though, coming up to a 200 period EMA. One bad trade or a series of small bad trades? Yeah, I did a bunch of testing last weekend, because that's what I spend my weekend doing. Right. That's why I'm sticking with the micros, looking for maybe like, I don't know, I have somewhere between $60 and $80 profit target with like a $50 stop loss on each trade to get that buffer going for the drawdown. And if I'm doing $50 a stop loss with micros, you know, I can lose 10 in a row. It's still not hit the stop loss. So though, if I'm having if that bad of a day, I'll probably stop after 5. But I've never lost 10 in a row. But just saying, that gives that kind of a buffer. But that's why I'm just gonna try. I don't need to swing for the fences because I mean, the most you can earn one day for the consistency rule is $525. So to get there in 15 days, it's like you need $116 a day, $117 a day. So, 2 good trades a day on the micros can get you there. Ken, you probably should jump in if you're going to do another trader career path. You probably want to jump in before the 28th or before the 1st, I should say, because that 50% off is probably going to go away on the 1st for some sort of new deal, whatever the new deal for March is going to be. Uh, okay, yeah, you're right. Um, but if you blew it now, you're gonna have to pay for a reset. Earn the Trade doesn't give you a free reset at the start of the new month, so you're better off restarting at the $75 amount instead of paying for a $100 reset. As far as I know, Top Step is the only one that gives a free reset when your new month subscription starts. I don't think any of the other prop firms do that. Oops. Sorry, Ken. Apparently you did something Nightbot didn't like. Apologize. I think I'm gonna turn that. I don't get much spammers anymore. I might turn Nightbot off until I see there might be if there's any other problems. I monitor the chat pretty well without it, and it seems to nail good people. Like I say, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just too sensitive. When I first started, it's interesting because when I first started streaming, both on Twitch and YouTube, I got a crap load of spammers, but they seem to have gone away. They really don't bug the chat anymore, even as the channel's gotten more popular. In the early days, it was a couple of times that the spam was the only conversation in the chat. And speaking of YouTube, those of you here on YouTube, remember hit that thumbs up button for me for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. So UltraBond did send us a short signal, and it looks like it would have been a good one. That would have been the nice 6 ticks I was looking for. The UltraBond's the one I'm the most conservative about of the 8 that I watch because of that $31.25 uh, tick value. I only run a 3 tick stop if I take that trade, and that can be too tight at times. I try never to lose more than $100 in a trade. So for the UltraBond, that's got to be 3 ticks. So now where do we go from here? I wonder at the open. We're about 35 minutes from the bell. I wonder what we're going to see there. We're going to see it recover a bunch of this loss, a bunch of this downward movement, or we're going to continue to head down. Copper trying to come back up. See if it gets back above this move here. Here we do have an uptrend. I kind of like that move. Let me find my copper chart. $100 loss on MNQ on one. Yeah. Uh, have a great day, Ken. One tick on one MNQ is, I always get this. 1 point is $2, so one tick is 50 cents. So it's huge. $50, 50 points on is a $100. No wait, I don't remember. So let's see. $100 loss is 5 points on regular NQ. See, you're making me do early morning math. 50 cents a tick. So it's 200 ticks. 400 ticks. 100 points. No. 200 ticks. Yeah, it's 200 ticks. But I run multiple. I don't just run one micro. So I usually run 3 or 5. So for me, it's more like 15 or 20 points. Making my brain hurt doesn't help. Okay, Sam. Let me see. So I'm confused. Can we make more TCP when we get funded? No. Okay. Once you're funded on TCP, you have a profit target on each goal. If you go over your profit target, from what I understand, as soon as you hit your profit target, you're supposed to stop. Or I'm not sure if the system stops you or how, but if you go over by somewhat of an amount, you still get 80% of that. but then you'll automatically move up to, once you withdraw, you'll automatically move up to the next level. I can check on that to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I can ask Hannah later on Discord. If you want to tune in tomorrow, I can get an answer for you. So here, let me verify what I just said about ticks and points and all that. Actually, if you ever have a question about ticks and points or how much you can make, or how much thing is, this is called Daniel's Trading. They have a futures calculator, so you can just bring up your, what you're asking about, like here, micro E-mini Nasdaq, 50 cents a tick. So you can put in like a buy price, let's say 15,000, and then put in like your profit target 1510 and the number of contracts, and then hit calculate. It'll tell you what the profit is. That'd be 40 ticks, which is $20. So yeah, it's 200 ticks or 40 points, I believe. See that right now? It's 50 points. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. 50 points is 100 200 ticks for $100. So if anyone ever wants to use the futures calculator to figure out tick values and profit and all that, I can put this link here in the chat. There you go. Sometimes these tick things can all get really confusing. It's like, eh. So we are heading down. It is now 9 a.m. Not seeing any real big pops. I didn't take that copper signal there, and so far it's been a dud. UltraBond is continuing to head down. We're sideways. I mean, we are grinding downward. I mean, this doesn't look like a huge move here, but since it bounced here, it's gone down. What? Wow. See, sometimes charts can be deceiving. This move does not look huge, does it? This move here. But that move is 870 down to 776. This is another 100-point drop. That's another $2,000 drop on a regular NQ. But the chart, because of that big candle down here, makes that move look small. Kind of slept on it there and wasn't really. I mean, obviously I didn't get another short signal on it, so. But that's one of the things I need to get better at, is getting back into the trades, or even noticing. I mean, that just snuck up on me. Didn't realize that it was bleeding out that much that quick. The copper came up and now bounced. I think it was a short signal. I want to see it get back below these recent lows of 62.90, 63.40, that area. Vincent, what did you say was the target for you to go? 45.17, getting real close to that target you said about Vincent on ES to reverse bias. Crude did finally sell off. It was late to the game, but it started selling off. It's come down $1,000 in 20 minutes. So definitely one thing I do need to get better at is after a big trade is getting my mind back in the game. Because, you know, I've missed a couple of good opportunities here. You get that rush of adrenaline, that rush of euphoria, and then you're kind of like, crude bouncing a bit there. It's there on crude, 35 ticks up. Sending us a long signal now. I don't, you know, not sure. This could end up going back up to the SMA. Hard to tell. I don't like taking a long signal after a big downtrend like that. And it went away anyway. Check it on the 5-minute. Ooh. Crude set a new low of the day on the last 5-minute. Now you see, it could have been a good reversal play here, maybe. 5-minute candle, new 5-minute candle just opened. See, we did get below the 70 line. We got below the Bollinger Band. Got well below the Bollinger Band, but it's already, so trying to play that reversal there. So far, it could have hurt. It came down another 13 ticks. We'll see. I always say if I'm going to play the reversal, I want to, you know, set my stop at the, you know, very bottom of the last wick. But that was a big wick. Like 38 ticks. So that would have been a way too big of a stop loss. We could have done it with a micro. I want to thank everyone for joining me this morning as we head toward the open. I've already had some excitement. Feel free to join Vincent and Walter and Sam in the chat. Say hi. If you have any questions or statements, please don't be afraid to ask or talk or give your thoughts on things. So far did not see that bounce. Still heading down on everything. So a lot of red. And you know, when everything's trending in one direction, it doesn't give me any new signals, and you never really feel comfortable jumping in somewhere because you don't know if you jump in right at the end of the trend. And it's another thing I do need to get better at, because obviously there was a lot more to be gotten out of these moves than what I got so far. And I did miss a couple signals. Somehow I missed that signal in crude. I would have taken that signal, but I missed it. Good morning life around here. How are you this morning? UltraBond giving us a long signal here. After we're still downtrending, so this could be a pullback. Crude sideways. Good morning, Chris. How are you this morning? Sorry, I was. Good job on that catch there, life round here. Yes, it did. And I caught 40 points on 3 micros. No, 5 micros. Yeah, 5 micros. Up $349 all in the morning. And that was after being down. I think I was down like $60 or $80 before that move. Yep, definitely keep your eye on news. You don't not want to be blindsided. I have an economic calendar up. Hi, Vincent. For an A plus signal, I look for, yeah, so far there has been no bounce, Sam. For an A+ signal, I basically look for, like here, there was one yesterday on silver, and I'm not sure, I mean, there was probably one today, actually, two here. Whoa, what silver did? Okay, so this is an A+ setup in my book. Well, this is an A+ setup right here. This is an A- setup. I like, for my absolute A+ setup, it broke the Bollinger Band on the top chart, which is, and I have it set, my Bollinger Band set at 2.75. I don't have it set at 3. 2.75 breaks the Bollinger Band on the RSI, and it breaks the 30 line or the 70 line. That, to me, is the A+ setup. A- setup is where you get 2 of the 3 Bollinger Band break, like here, and Bollinger Band break here, but we weren't above the 70 line. So that's my A- setup. And then, like right here is another one, touch the band, reversed. Silver does them a bunch. I'm going to start getting brave enough to take them. Just breaking the Bollinger Band on the RSI gives a lot of false signals. You can see here how it broke and then continued to go down. So, and it especially works if a move comes out of nowhere. Like here you have an uptrending move, and you break your Bollinger Band, you're above the 70 line, but you're continuing. You don't really want to. In this case, you want to wait for the first reversal candle at the very least. But when it comes out of nowhere, like here, it was kind of consolidating, big move up, broke the band, broke a band, came right back down. Same here. It was very slow, came up, ripped through the band, and then immediately came back down. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, a lot of times when you see this big move down, we see the opposite move at the open, at least at the beginning. Sometimes it'll just be a quick, big, sharp move up and then go back down. Um, I believe it works on the 1 minute chart as well. The only problem with the 1 minute, I mean, you'll probably have better luck with it on the 1 minute, Vincent, because you only look at one asset. I find that by the time I see it on the 1 minute, I've already possibly missed the move, just because you have to process everything so quick. It does work, on the 1 minute. Um, let's see if I can. Let's look at the ES chart and see if we can find any examples of it. Here's this. It can. Here's where all three conditions are being met as it's uptrended. But if you would have tried to, off of this candle where it broke the band, that we were above the band, above the 70 line, you would have got nailed. Your stop, if your stop was, pretty high up, you could have, basically come back down. But you would have gotten the heat trying to play the reversal too early. Let's see if we can find any other. Right here, this gives 2 of the 3. It hit the band, broke the band, but we weren't below the 70 line, but we did see that reversal. Let's see. This is this one, we were down below the 30 line. It didn't touch the third band or the band on the Bollinger, but it did reverse. There doesn't seem to be as many examples on the 1 minute chart. And there's another one where you would have gotten in trouble. It would have gotten in the heat, and it never really reversed. So it doesn't seem as good on the 1 minute time frame. Now here's another decent one. You see the break of the band on the RSI, but none of the others were met. It had the quick pullback, but then it continued. So yeah, I'm going through and I'm just. It's definitely a more sure thing on the 5-minute chart. I don't even alert for it on the 1-minute chart anymore. I was first starting to set alerts for it, but now I try to watch them on the 5-minute chart because it seems like. And I was playing with the 15 and the 30-minute chart last weekend because that's what I do on my weekends is stare at charts. And it seems like on the higher time frames you go, the more sure it is. Great day, Sam. Have a good one. Hope to see you back tomorrow. Remember, we're streaming tomorrow morning again, 7 a.m. 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I tell you, I'm really tempted, but I'm probably not going to tempt fate. I am really tempted to do that same 10-point thing for the Open. We're squeezing now. Very small candles here on the NASDAQ. As I think we're going to have another burst at the Open. But I'm not going to. If that goes wrong, I'll wipe out all my profit for the day. I mean, I could do it with 1 micro. That's a thought. 1 micro. Yeah, why not? We'll do it with 1 micro. That way, if it goes wrong, I don't lose any more than $40. But if it goes right, if it goes up like 100 points, I can get a couple hundred out of it. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's basically risk aversion. Obviously, I have a good day. I'm up $349. I've completely recovered the losses I've made for the week because I've had 3 straight red days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were red. Not by a lot each day, about $100 each day. But this has recovered that. So I'm about break even on the week, and I like to further momentum instead of giving it all back. By the way, guys, if you want to follow my P&L each day, I post that on Twitter. There's the Mighty Ox Twitter account. Follow me on Twitter there, at MightyOxTrading. Each day I post my P&L. I also post reminders about the streams, and every now and then I'll post something else that catches my eye. But usually I post my win-loss on each asset for the day, how much I lost, plus commissions. I do that each day. So it's fully disclosure of how good I'm doing. Only 36 followers there so far, but if you want to follow me closer, once I'm on the trader career path, I will also be posting that each day as well. And I'll probably try to do a weekly summary video on the trader career path for YouTube. Crude, being crude. Crude tried to pop back up and got. Another thing about the RSI, Vincent, yeah, you were asking about it on the bands. You can get confirmation a little bit as well with the 1 minute chart of like where you expect reversals. Like you see here, we got the buy signal here, but we have this downtrending bands. So to me, this is going to reverse. Looking down here, you see how it's also touching the band on the 1 minute chart. Just touching, didn't really break it, but that was indicated this was going to come back down at least some. And it has come back down by 50. Holy crap, that's 50 ticks. Wow. So yeah, that would have been a great play because a little bit of confirmation. You know, I probably would have waited for the first red candle, jumped in here, could have rode this down. But we were watching this as a possible up, down, up pattern. I think that's an ABCD, but I gotta look that up. I don't want to be saying it's the wrong pattern. But we're back above the SMA line. This could be an indication that this is going to go long. We are close to the open, so I'm not going to really play with that. I am going to set up my chart for 1 micro to try and play that open move. I'm going to mute for just a couple minutes as we watch the charts here. Breakfast is ready. I'm going to eat some breakfast, and you all don't want to hear me chew. If you do, you're kind of weird. Interesting how tight things have gotten here right before the open, which could make for an absolute explosive reaction at the open. It's unusual to see these small candles right before the open. Yeah, I was. I'm sorry. There we go. Thank you, Vincent. So we have a very muted response so far. Seems like it's trying to head up, but no big burst anywhere. We are in this trade. Um, Stop is set. Yeah, 30 points away. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting some momentum, maybe. About 25 points here. Climbing. Pulling back there. Let's, we're going to cut it. Cut it there for a small gain. We're up as much as $50. I might cut it early, but we'll see. Looks like I did. Got about $20 off that trade. It's a wallet patter. Yeah. Uh, Definitely pull back here. It was hard to really read the trade because we were into the bands right away. Each candle because of how tight everything was. So, I mean, I think this might continue going, but I didn't want it to reverse there and take everything away. So we got about $20 on that. I won't complain. That's $20 more. We'll watch this, but I mean, so far there's like, this is a very slow open. I'm going to choose some more, so I'm going to mute again. This time I'll remember to unmute. Back to green. So yeah, I did get out a little bit early. If I had done 2 micros, you know, maybe I would have got out with 1 and put 1 at break even. That would have been the smarter move. Since the open, we've gone up 41 points. Let me see where I was filled at. On that one, I was filled at 748, which was it opened at 742. So I got him with at 6 points. That's pretty good. You know, so you know, I'll be still up about 30. But I mean, obviously, I thought we might see another big 100-point burst, and we have not seen that. It's trying though. It's about now we're up almost 50 points since the open. There was never really any reversal at all. It came down about 7 points and then went. I did get in the first couple of seconds there on that trade when I was muted. I did get a little bit nervous because it did fill me and then come back down, and I was in the red for a bit. I thought it was going to stop me, but then burst back up. Still, this is a slow open so far. See copper heading up. UltraBond's kind of slowish too. Gold made a nice bounce there. There's an RSI Bollinger bounce. Here's a good one for you, Vincent. Broke the band, reversed perfectly. 26 up to 30, so 4 points up. And here, oh, gold give us another good. This was the A plus setup that we were looking for. Above the band. Oh no, didn't break the third band, but 2 of the 3, and got that reversal. So Nasdaq is now continuing to is continuing to go. Looks like 42 to 18. Really? Right. Oh yeah. Well, now we're up. Well, let's go to a 15-minute chart, so I don't have to do math. Ah, wrong. NQ's up 70 points now. So this didn't give a huge burst, but obviously this gave is obviously going up nicely. It's recovered these 2 big red candles on the 15-minute chart. Hello, Dave. Good morning. Copper is $12.50 a tick. Okay, breakfast has been completed. Sure, you all wanted to know that. Reversing a bit here. Big 20-point candle back down on NQ. UltraBond would have gave a good signal there. Copper's last signal would have been good, but you had to endure a pullback before it went. That gold signal would have been good. That's kind of frustrating. Another thing that will make me hesitate when you see so many green candles in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's already 7 green candles in a row when it sent the long signal. So that made me hesitate there, especially since the SMA was kind of flat. So it made me hesitate. But if you look here, and we've gone two full points. This will have been a winning trade. But as we talk about that, you can see Nasdaq's also gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only one big pullback here. It's still going now. It's going up over. Now it has gone up over 100 points since the open. Okay. Anybody in a trade? Did anyone else take a trade at the open? I usually don't trade the open, but obviously I did that one, and it's an interesting strategy, and I might try that with one micro over the next couple days and see how it does overall. See how many times I get in trouble with it, and see how many times I can take a winner with it, just with one micro. Obviously, this is an interesting open because it's gone one direction. Obviously, like yesterday, if we go back in time, turn back time. If I remember correctly, and sometimes I can't remember yesterday. So, but yeah, this was yesterday's open. Down, up, up, down, down, up, 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 down, 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 down. So, when it's doing that, you can't find any direction. It's just going wild. And that's why I usually don't play the open. Because this seems to happen more than what we're seeing today, where it's going one direction. I mean, obviously, if I had taken this buy signal here, it's fired 1 minute after. I will be up 85 points. Or, I mean, it's pulling back a little now, but 85 points was the extent of that move off that buy signal. But I didn't trust it because, oftentimes you'll get rapid fire up and down at the open. But everything's giving us good signals. Copper would have been a good signal. The bonds would have been a good signal. NASDAQ, gold. What's crude doing? So crude. Oh, by the way, so there we go. Remember when I was looking at this crude, when I was pointing out this to Vincent about this bounce here, I said this could end up going. I should have got in once it broke the RSI. It's gone. Oh my God! It's gone up over $1,000. So you notice I say that a lot. I shoulda, shoulda, shoulda. This would have been a good signal for $1,000 down. Obviously, this wasn't a good signal. Could have waited for it to get back to that level and got a nice big trade. Yeah, I've only done that the 10 above 10 below thing. Yeah, so far I've only done it on FMOC and now on the inflation report. I had considered doing it last week on non-farm payrolls, but I didn't. But yeah, because that's where you see the big burst. Now, like I said, I was thinking about trying it for the opens, but I don't know. You don't get that. You often get a nice big burst at the open, but I'm not sure. So I'll probably test it with one micro in the open. I mean, eventually the goal, if I can see where it's a successful strategy overall, the goal will eventually move it up to doing one regular size contract on it. So like I said, that would have been a $1,600. No wait, 40 points, $800 trade, not 16. The biggest, because if it get one fills and then reverses, the other acts as a stop. So that's not the big risk on it really. I had tried it once before on a sim account on I want to say a non-farm payroll day, but it was like on a sim. I wasn't streaming, and it ended up where things got very volatile within like 10 seconds and ended up getting filled early before the news hit. And the news went the opposite direction and stopped me out. So that's like the biggest risk of it is ending up getting filled too quickly because you got to set the orders, make sure they're set right before. And if something jumps up, it could fill you. And you might be in too early if it reverses right when the news hits. So it's a difficult trade to set up. But I mean, there's not that much risk to it since they cancel each other out if they end up reversing. Not, I shouldn't say cancel. You take a loss on it, though. It's not like it's a net zero, but the most you should be, if you can set it right, you should be looking at no more than like a 20-point loss, which is a big loss, obviously. If you're running a regular NQ, that's a $400 loss. I haven't tried it on any other asset besides NQ. Might be able to reduce a little bit of risk if you tried it on ES instead. Crude actually has just made a new high of the day by a bit. Wow. Someone on the Earn the Trade Discord, he just got his live sim account today on a 150K account, and he hit his profit target of $5,000 already. He's done with his live sim in one day. He played the Open. He's done with his live sim in 10 minutes. Yep. He must have went in with 3 contracts and wrote it up. Or maybe even 2. Yeah, that's just I mean, so he's gonna get $4,000 after the profit split of the 80-20. So he made $4,000 in about 10 or 15 minutes. That's just crazy. See, NQ's continuing to move up here. It was at 1527, 027 when the inflation report came out. So it's still about 140 points away from that level, but considering it dropped about what 300 points. Well, let's look at there. This is easy. Yeah, it came down to about there. So yeah, it dropped from 027 down to 729. So it dropped about 300 points. It's regained about half of its losses. It's back above the SMA line on the 5-minute chart. You can see how big the band's expanded. Oh, Vincent, here's where sometimes, this strategy of this reversal strategy can be a little bit dangerous. You can see this came down here. This this fulfilled all three of things for the A plus setup. Well below the third Bollinger, well below the Bollinger Band here, well below the 30 line. You were actually below 20, and it did reverse. But if you had jumped in right at the start of this candle, you would have taken 32 points of heat, and most likely would have stopped out. I know I don't ever run a 30-point stop. So that's one, and you can see that it actually stayed below there for that next candle. And even though it got back, inside the Bollinger, is still continued downward. It's now above the 200 period EMA and we're back above 900. This is where you start feeling a little bit of FOMO. Jump in, you want to jump in, and it's like, as soon as I do, it's gonna reverse. So I'm patient. Obviously, I'm up $369 today. I have no reason to, take too many risks. Be interesting to see if we end up seeing a big sell-off, at some point. Because obviously the inflation numbers scared the market. It's interesting, how big it's coming back, but overall, market's probably still not happy with that report. Next FMOC meeting is sometime in March. I'm not sure exactly when. So, while we're a bit slow, let's look at the economic calendar for next week. Well, first of all, we can look at tomorrow. I don't think there's anything for tomorrow that's major. Uh, Michigan consumer sentiment. Fed monetary policy report. So that's tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Nothing huge. Nothing. Let's see. Monday morning. Nothing. Tuesday. PPI report Tuesday morning. 8:30. Wednesday. Retail sales report next Wednesday. Export and import prices. So that could give a little bit of a bounce. That kind of ties into inflation. Nasdaq is continuing to head up. Oh, guys. Next Wednesday, 2 p.m. FMOC meeting minutes from the last FMOC meeting. That oftentimes sends, for some reason, even though they know what was said in the last meeting, that can also send the markets riding just as good as a regular FMOC meeting. So we'll have to watch that next Wednesday at 2 p.m. It looks like to be the big thing. Nothing big next Friday. So those are the big things. I'm sorry, that's next. Yeah, yeah, next Wednesday. Sorry, getting myself confused. If there's enough interest, next FMLC meeting, which I'm not sure, it's sometime in March. It's the information comes out at 2 p.m. Eastern about the meeting. If on a Wednesday. If there's enough interest, I can live stream that event. But if if no one's really interested, then I won't. I don't want to go live for just like 2 people. Great. Gold sending us a signal trying to head down. Upward trending bands, so we expect a little bit of a bounce there. Nasdaq looks like might have found the top for now at about 934. So from the open here, 742, so almost 200-point bounce up. Cool. Okay. I'm not sure. I gotta look to see when the next FMOC is. Let's see. FMOC meetings 2022. There's the short signal on gold. Let's see if it bounces here before it comes down. March 15th to 16th. That figures. March 16th is not a lucky day for me. I almost died on a March 16th. $15 years ago. Yeah, I'll schedule a live stream for that day. Come on about 1 o'clock. And stream through the meeting and the after effects of the meeting. We do see a little bit of a bounce here on gold. Wait to see if it. We'll see if it continues coming down. We do have a. Boy, that's very flat 200 EMA there. Everything's kind of leveling off now. The market's taking a breath. We see that the market, Nasdaq did take a breath here, then continued up. So we'll see if this is another breath before the next leg up, or if we're just kind of relaxing a bit. By the way, Bitcoin basically has made the same move. Down and I'll back up. $500 5-minute candle. Back above 44,000. For those of you that are following Bitcoin. We're at 10 a.m. now. Probably stream for another half hour to an hour. Definitely half hour. We'll see if there's anything exciting happening. Another move up here on NQ. Continuing to rise up. By the way, guys, this is the only reason I use RSI is because I found these Bollinger Bands on it, and that helps it make sense. You can see how on the RSI people look for overbought and oversold, but based on that, we've been overbought now for the last half hour, and it hasn't really gone down. And that's why I don't really use RSI the way people normally use it with the 70 and the 30. But seeing these Bollinger Bands on it, that really has started making sense for me, and that seems to be a decent tool. But I don't. Overall, I really am not big fans of the RSI or MACD or what all those other types of overbought, oversold indicators. New high of this move is 955. Once again, the high of the day, I think is 63, 063. So about 100 now, only 100 points away from the high. Gold sending us a signal. I see gold did bounce. Bounced off that and came back up. Might have a buy signal coming here. So this might have been a consolidation before a move upwards. Copper, kind of doing the same thing. Consolidate it. Looks like it wants to continue moving up. Yeah, I've the divergence is something I heard is a good play. I haven't taken the time to like stare at the charts to really look for divergence, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that is a good a good strategy as well, looking for divergence. But there's so many people I think that just trying to use RSI as overbought, oversold. Think if it hits 70, go short. If it hits 30, go long, and that can get you in trouble. Okay, we got a signal here in gold. We're gonna take that if I can find my gold chart. There it is. We're gonna wait. Actually, it went away. Gold chart up, ready, at the ready if it pops again. Gold is running a 16 by 8. If I actually get it there, 16 for 16 ticks with an 8 tick stop. There's the signal again. About 19 seconds to go in this candle. Not a strong candle, but it does have a down wick. Okay. 5 seconds. We're in. We're in. I got in. Wow, I got in 5 ticks late. That's wow. I'm not sure how that happened. That sucks. Pull back here. I'm gonna give it a couple, just 2 more ticks of room just because I got in late. Right now, I should be 4 or 5 ticks in the profit. I really just burst there right as I hit the buy button. There we go. Got some momentum going upwards now. And a little bit of fluctuation. Now we got that little bit of a burst. We'll move our stop back to where we were. We're up 9 ticks. Should be up 14, but hey. We're continuing upwards. A little bit of a struggle right at this level. Oop, pull back. Don't like the looks of that candle. Up, red. Back into, up. Oh, wow, that quick we got stopped out. Wow. So went from $100 up to, I think an $80 loss. No, only 60. So I moved my stop to 6 ticks. So still up $309 on the day. I considered taking the profit there at when it was between 80 to 100. I said it was struggling. Maybe I should have. But I often, I get out too quickly. Now let's see if this just reversed enough to stop me out and then continues to go. That's what it's looking like right now. Yep, there's a nice green candle. So moving my stop once again hurt me. Yep. Now it's going to go on me. Remember, I got in at 1835.7. I would have been looking for 1837.3. And wow. Okay, I gotta stop moving the stops. Just hit what would have been my profit target. And going up above. Okay, so this was an unforced error on my part. I shouldn't have moved the profit target. We'll see it here. Go away. If we look here, we'll draw it out. Obviously, the buy signal fired here. Okay, I thought I got in later than when I only got in 2 ticks late. So I got in at 37. We'll mark that here. I'm sorry, entry price is 34.7. And the profit target would have been at 16 ticks. 8 tick stop. Oh, wait, huh? Confused. No, okay. Wait. Let's try that. That's better. Now I've confused myself. What was my entry point? Entry point was 35.7. Okay. So 35.7 instead of 35.2. Okay. Now I'm... Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be confusing everybody. 16 by 8. Let's see. Would have reached my profit target. Would not have stopped me out if I had just stayed with the plan. Always stick with your trading plan. This would have been 160 bucks. I will be up over $500 today. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. So we continue on for the next 15 minutes to 45 minutes or so. We'll see. Please feel free to say hello in the chat. Got questions or comments? Feel free. Remember, the next stream is tomorrow morning at 7:30 Eastern, which is way too early, but I managed to pull myself up and awake and trade. Now, gold, I mean, it didn't give me much, wouldn't have given me much more than that, would have bet, and now it's pulled back. But still, unforced error on my part. I'm still not sure how I got in 5 ticks late, but honestly, if I was staring at the chart, this would have been the better candle to get in on instead of waiting for the signal. Nasdaq's continuing to go up, has now seen a high on this move of 991. Be interested to see if it gets all the way back above its daily high, which it's not far away. There's our pullback. We might see it. This might have been the top of this move. 991. Seeing a pullback to the SMA. The SMA's starting to flatten out a bit. We'll see if it bounces there off the SMA. Gold's done the same thing. Give back all that move there to the SMA. And Q giving us a short signal? Really? NQ's trying to give us a short signal. Question is, do we trust it? Do we trust it? Big move up there, obviously. This could very well be a pullback before it goes back up. So we'll wait. We still have uptrending. The SMA is still slightly uptrending. The Bollinger Bands are definitely uptrending. And you see it's done this a couple of times. It's pulled back to the SMA line, but it hasn't broken. It did break there. We are getting a whole bunch of signals here. NQ, crude, gold, everything suddenly pulling back. Everything took the breath, and now it's like maybe remembering, hey, we're not supposed to like the data that came out today. This is a difficult take. Do you try to play the short here, thinking that we might get I see gold immediately bounce back up by a point. NQ is, NQ bounced up by 7 points. Now it's down by 8. So this would have been, if we wanted to go for a quick scalp on regular NQ, we could have done that. Or, for that matter, we could have done it on MNQ. Still expecting it to bounce here a bit, but it could prove me wrong. This pullback was 26. That one was only about 11 points. This one was only about 18. So this is already a much bigger pullback. UltraBond also under its SMA now, trying to send us a short signal as well. We're at the same levels on all these charts where it's broken the SMAs, but everything's still kind of uptrending, and you don't really want to take the chance of a bounce. You see here now, here's the bounce I was predicting on the NASDAQ. It's come up 13. ES is bouncing there. It's come up 2 points. It's weird for almost every asset to be following the same path, but that's what we're kind of seeing here. That was a 13 point candle up. So now that's what we're going to watch here. We're looking basically to see came up, came down. We'll see how far it comes back up, and then if it falls back down. I think there's a pattern for this. Nope. There. Is that it? Maybe. I don't know. I have to play with that. That looks kind of fun. Looks like I'm drawing constellations. Anyway. Probably shouldn't be playing with things that I don't know about on stream and making it look like I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we're watching this. We had the bounce back down, back to green. The Bollingers are still uptrending. It's got to bend those, and we have a 200 EMA right here as well. And you can see it bounced off that 200 EMA perfectly on that last pullback. The bands have now bent. They're facing slightly downward. SMA line is just about flat. Honestly, I expected this to come up more. And it still might. There's a big 9-11 point candle. If this breaks below this EMA, which is sitting about, let's see, where's the EMA at here? 14903. So it's still got a ways to go, but that's what we're looking at now, I think. That's a pretty strong looking move down, actually. M and Q. Let's go back to our 30. Look for 30 points. So I got excellent. So you're in about that 45.61, Vincent. There's another pop-up. Waiting. We're going to stay on this chart for now. And if we get other signals, then we'll switch over to see what's going on. But for now, we're stalking the indices. Here's that bounce I was expecting. Up to the SMA line. It's flat. We'll see if it breaks the SMA line and retests this high here of 14,991. That is a ways to go, obviously. But you don't know what it's going to do. Obviously, if it retests that, means it's going up 60 points. So first stop is the SMA line. See if it reverses down. We've been ranging between the SMA and the EMA here basically for the last almost 10 minutes. So we want to see it get through one or the other of those. This is where sometimes I do think maybe I overanalyze a little bit too much. Because, if I gotten in here on this at 928, it did go all the way down to 911. If I was looking for 15 points, I would have got that. And I could have run a 10-point stop, and I don't think it would have stopped me. Oh, wait, actually it would have. So, okay, never mind. So that would have stopped me out if I'd done a 10-point stop. So, the best thing, I wouldn't go any more than maybe more than 10. Looking for 15. So, yeah, not getting in there was actually a good idea. Just kind of playing here. There was a move down. So we're about 21. EMA sitting at about EMA sitting at 904. That prior low support is at 894. Well, that's a nice move down right there. Still kind of playing though. Okay, we're gonna take this short here. Maybe. Hesitating just a bit. Let's see. Yep. Reversed again. Yeah. Gotta wait for it to break at least below this low here, 11. 8. Yeah, when I enter, I'll be having a 15-point stop on this trade. Just waiting for confirmation below that to get below that recent low. It's interesting how it's doing a big green candle, stair stepping down with 3 red candles, big green candles, stair stepping down. Back up to the SMA line. This is the big test to see whether it bounces here off this SMA line, because you see the SMA has slightly started to downtrend. ATR line for a buy signal is sitting at 958. Waiting for an entry. If I was brave enough to scalp regular NQ for 5 points, we could have done that multiple times here. But I don't like having to run a 5x5 stop and all that. Let's quickly check, see what gold's doing. Gold sent us a buy signal. Want to see it get back above that high earlier of 1837.6. It's a full point away. We're seeing a lot of green here on the NASDAQ now. Still hanging right around that SMA line. It's broken it right now. See if it bounces here. No, 200 EMA, if that's what you mean. That's this blue, a little bit darker blue line here. And it's still above it. That's what I was waiting for, to see if it would break down below there. Seeing it move up here now. See if it... The bands are tightening. So above the SMA, SMA is still slightly heading downhill. But the bottom Bollinger has slipped above at least the 2 standard deviation Bollinger has slipped slightly above that EMA line. Feels like we're squeezing a bit. Basically, to try and get confirmation that this wants to go short, what we want to see, like I said, we've come up, pull back. If it comes up and can't really break that high and then rejects down, that's probably means it's going to be a short. But if it comes up and then breaks that high, it might just be a continuation of this move, and this might just been a pullback of the larger upward trend. Five straight green candles in a row. Well, four green candles in a doji. It's sending us a long signal, but again, I'm not taking a long. Not with the fact that we're still slightly downtrending on the SMA. Our bands are coming down to meet the price action, and we're below the recent high. Thank you, Vincent. You see that red line there toward the top is the resistance line for that recent high that we saw about 20 minutes ago now. This strong move up here, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 green candles in a row. Now you notice if we look here in the RSI, it did touch the Bollinger. Reversing here just a bit. We'll see if that has an effect. So far, it doesn't care. Can it get back above? We said this high was 991. We're sitting at about 969 now. These are all big candles. Obviously, we could have played this move up if we had known it was going to continue to go up and made good amount. Now there's the rejection. 14 points down. What we want to see here is basically we see a rejection off that Bollinger on the RSI. If you look at the bottom of the screen there, it might be hard to see, I'm not sure. But basically, again, we want to wait to see if it comes back down to the SMA line and breaks through it. Patience. Obviously, there's not a lot of signals firing right now. Normally you might see a bunch of boxes popping up on the screen. There's not much popping right now. So we're sticking here. We're watching this, just watching this price action play out. One of the things that's really helped me with learning is just sitting and staring at charts at times, watching the price action, and watching to see what it does. Look for the patterns. Look how things react. You can see that our SMA line the red SMA line is straightened out. By the way, if you wanted to try and play scalps, real quick, the SMA line would have provided you a good opportunity. Once it broke the SMA line here, you could have jumped in here. You could have scalped yourself 20 points and got out, waited, and once it broke through here, grabbed one of these green candles up for another 20 to 30 points. Man, I wish I had thought of that before now. But we're waiting to see if this comes down and bounces, or if it comes back down through. This is not quite a double top situation, but it is a lower high so far compared to that high of 20 minutes ago, which could indicate some movement down. Welcome, Rev John. Thank you for subscribing. Glad to have you. Right now, we're just seeing if this wants to head back up. Still indecisive. If it heads up, if it goes back up and breaks that recent resistance, we could see a big move up toward the high of the day. Again, the high of the day is about, and I just moved the yellow line. I hate that. So we'll do it this way. High of the day is 15,062. So we're about 80 points off of that. Well, we haven't made. Gold did send us a signal. Let's check, see what gold's doing. Oh, big move up on gold, but broke the band and immediately rejected down. This buy signal here would have been good on gold. I think I accidentally ignored it earlier. And that was a huge mistake because that went up 6 points. So, smack me for that. I think I accidentally knocked it down and wasn't thinking. So sometimes you can get two, if most people only concentrate on one or two assets. I concentrate on more, and maybe to my own detriment. But sometimes you can get too focused on one if you do watch multiples, and you end up missing an opportunity on another. ES, something a buy signal. You're still 3 points away from your stop. Are you still in that trade, Vincent? It's moving that same direction, kind of as NQ. NQ is kind of consolidating here. Still about 20 points below that resistance. Wait, no, this resistance. It drew another line there, but I'm not really worried about that line there at 82 as much as I'm worried about the 91 over here. So it's a nice little, obviously I haven't taken any trades here yet, but nice little talk about reading a chart. Oh, big move. Okay, it just broke resistance. How much time on this candle? 10 seconds on this candle. Let's see if it holds. Taking a long there. Let's see. It broke through the recent high. Running a 15-point stop. 30-point profit target. Big move up. Broke back through 15,000. We're up about 17, 18 points right now. Struggling right a bit, right around 07. Pull back here. Seeing red. Ouch. Hopefully this isn't going to pull all the way back. Oh. Sorry to hear that, Vincent. "20 seconds on this 1-minute candle. It's gone, oh, nice. It's gone green to red. I mean, red to green. My stop has moved to break even and is now trailing. Moving up. Watching it, we're about 7 points from the profit target. Stumbling here a bit, right around 15,014. Oh, there we go. Continuation. Yeah. Trying and struggling. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we just hit our profit target on 2 and we're trailing on 1. Still moving up. We're trailing by about 8,765 points. Looks like it's going to come down and meet our trailing. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of this. Struggling right around 15,020. Looks like it wants to reject down. Huh? Well, hold on. It's almost stopped our trailing out, but Tracking the green area. There we go. Still moving up. There we go. Look at her go. It's coming back down. I think it's going to stop it. Give me a minute, Barry. Let me finish out this trade. Okay, pulled down to our trailing stop. So let's go look at the stats on that. I got in at 14,991, right at the resistance point. I didn't realize I got out at 30 points on 2 of them. And our trailing stop, actually, we by using the trailing, I actually cost myself 3 points. So 30, 30, 27. So let's see. 60 plus 60 plus 27 times 2. $174 win. That deserves a cha-ching. And it looks like we did get out at the right time. We see this red coming down. So definitely got out at the right time. Trailing stop saved us. We're now up $483 on the day. Excellent day. Which puts me on green for the week. After 3 red days. So, okay, Barry, let's talk. I'm confused about what you mean. What do you mean one lot is 100,000 units? A one lot of what are we talking about? Uh, you guys did hear the cha-ching, right? I did play it, or it should have played. Barry, are you talking Forex? Okay, Barry, I apologize. I'm not a Forex guy. I'm doing futures and not Forex, and I've never really played with Forex, so I don't have an answer to your question. Is there anyone else here that knows Forex to maybe help out Barry? Where's Ecom Jake when you need him? As for the stream, we'll probably, that was probably the last trade, but we'll go for right up until 11 o'clock Eastern and see if there's anything else. Okay, I'll give it another cha-ching. There we go. You're welcome, Barry. So, quick look around the other things now that I'm no longer concentrated on NQ. Crude is kind of sideways. Looks like it wants to start trending down. Obviously, the Russell and the ES made those same moves up. Natural gas is kind of heading up. Nasdaq's come down to the SMA line. It's even interesting if it bounces. It's back under that 991 area that we were watching and where we got in at on that last trade. Gold, like I said, I missed this signal on gold. Would have been a good signal. Obviously, would have went like at least 5 points there. It's still kind of heading up. UltraBond moving down. Copper moving up. Did get a bounce there off the SMA on the Nasdaq. 10-point bounce so far. Copper sending us a short signal, but we got uptrending bands in SMA. Big move down there on copper that I expect this to bounce, but we'll see. Nasdaq's riding its SMA. So, I'm really happy with the way I analyzed this Nasdaq chart. I didn't obviously blindly rely on the signals. Honestly, and it didn't do what I expected it to do. So if I had just been looking, because like I said, I expected to come up, maybe stop around here and come down hard back through the SMA. So I was really thinking this was going to end up being a short. But I didn't stick with that bias. I was ready to go either way. If it, when it broke the previous high, or if it had broke down below the EMA. So I was ready to go either way, and it went long, and obviously it worked out very nicely. Again, though, if I had gone with one regular NQ, that would have been a $600 trade. So I still fight myself with the whole micros thing. So copper proved me wrong, did not bounce. Has come down almost enough to reach a profit target there. Ooh, there we go. Now we might have that down move there that I was waiting for in the Nasdaq. Big move down. 14-point candle here in the Nasdaq down all of a sudden. Strong move back down. Just losing its mind all of a sudden. There's the quick. All of a sudden everything's trying to go red again. You see gold going red. This is a nice little bounce off that on that 1 minute chart there on the Nasdaq. ES came down hard too, 10 points. Russell as well with 7. Crude doesn't care. We did get a short signal here, obviously. Maybe. I probably shouldn't doubt it. But, I mean, now it's come down 7 points. But it's kind of, it's being wishy-washy. I should have taken the short on copper, though. That one proved me wrong. would have given us our 16 ticks. That would another $200. Gold's also sending us a short signal, but we have these uptrending bands. No, it didn't matter here. Apparently the Nasdaq's come down about 10 points off of that. So, yep. So, expecting these bounces that don't happen is hurting me. This has gone now, 13, 15 points. But if you're not sure about a trade, if you don't do it. There's always going to be another opportunity. I expect this to kind of do what this did here, come down, consolidate a little bit, come up. Instead, it's just gone straight down 25 points. Gold looks like it's trying to do the same. So it seems like we have a strong, sudden downwind in the market. This has gone obviously 30 points, 40 points on me now. So I should have taken that short signal. It did reverse at the start by 12 points. 15-point stop loss though would have kept me in, and that, like I said, I would now be up 27 points. So I mean, obviously, you're not going to catch every trade. So it's interesting now, is this is a larger version of what I was looking for earlier? Up, down, down. It's kind of interesting. I expected up, down here. I expected it to. Oops. Yep. I expected down. Oops. Up. Down. But instead we got down, up, and maybe now this is the final down. By the way, just that quick, from here to here, Nasdaq's dropped 80 points, which, by the way, is $1,600 if you had caught it. And it's just broken below the 2-hour period SMA. I'm sorry, EMA. Or it's sitting right on it. Let's get rid of that arrow because it's kind of annoying. Sitting right on it. It may be bouncing there. We'll watch for a few more minutes here, guys. Then we will call it a day until tomorrow. Oh, yep, looks like it's trying to bounce here off the 2-hour period EMA. It wasn't a full break. This is why I like to wait until a candle closes below. Oh, and there we go. Still trying to bounce. Do we want to try and take a trade? Let's go with 1 micro. If it closes below that EMA, just 1 micro. Did not close below. We'll run it here if we take a chance on 1 micro. If it closes below, so far it looks like it's bouncing. What is that? Okay, ag. It's tried twice. Lows of these candles were 14 and 13. That's a nice move down. Hitting that prior resistance there, or support, whichever way you call it. Bouncing off it. Taking a short there, 1 micro. Probably should set a stop loss, right? I don't want to lose too much. We're in at 05, setting the stop 20 points. Basically right above that last candle. Oops, you're not seeing the chart. There we go. That helps, doesn't it? So we're in here. Looking for we broke the EMA, we broke resistance or support. So let's see if we can get one more good trade. Only risking about 40 bucks with a stop. Green candle. Looks like it's gonna come up and stop us out. NQ is so bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Not really. I'm down on this trade. I'm down $28 on this trade. It's looking like it wants to come up and stop me out, but we'll see. Maybe not. 20 seconds to go on this candle. It's trying to go red. Better entry would have been jumping in right as it broke the EMA. What? Oh, back to just about break even. Seeing a red move down. This is nice. There we go. Big move down. Big red candle. Watch that. Looking at that. Wish I had gone with more micros. So pulling back. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. We'll move our stop to break even. Just above break even, maybe. Struggling getting back through the 900. Oops. Okay, it's coming back up. Try and give it a little bit of room to roam. It's broken through 900. Moving down. Really glad to have you back, Vincent. I was really worried when you just said you had COVID and then you disappeared. We're coming back. It's reversing. Eh. Hanging right around that 900 level. 14,900. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up getting stopped out for. I think it's gonna reverse here to a stop me out for some very small loss. Yep. Oh wait, what just happened? Okay, it said buy there, but I don't think I'm in a. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened there. We took a small loss, like 20 bucks. Make sure I don't have an open order. Okay, I didn't. It's weird that it said order filled instead of order canceled. But okay, so it did reverse on us to a small loss. It had gone about $40 in my direction before it reversed. So that's where we're going to end today. I do want to thank everyone for joining me. Once again, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern, to hopefully finish out the week and stay green and continue green. I appreciate everyone for joining me, and I hope and I hope I can talk, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you, Vincent, Walter, Barry, and Rallo. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys. Bye.